Hi guys. So I want you in your math notebook right now, and we are going to take notes. We are going to do some you try problems, and then I'm going to give you directions for your signs chart that you're going to make. So go ahead and label these notes. Multiplying integers. I promise I can spell. Multiplying integers. Okay. So when we're looking at integers, what we are really looking at are numbers such as negative numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, no fractions, no decimals. So right now we're just kind of focusing on multiplying things with the same sign, multiplying things with different signs. Okay? So we're going to first write it all out in words. So if I write, you write, and you can listen as you're writing. So first of all, the product, remember that's multiplication, of two integers with opposite signs is negative. Okay? The product of two integers with same signs is positive. Now, I know that we kind of sometimes get stuck on these rules, but this is the way I like to think of it. We know this. We know just regular 2 times 3 is positive 6. So if you remember that 2 times 3 is an example of same signs, and you know it's a positive 6, then you need to remember even a negative 2 times a negative 3 is still a positive 6. It's different signs that end up negative. Okay? So, hopefully you paused and wrote that down. Okay, so really, this kind of comes down to you memorizing this rule. And the more you practice it, the more you'll have to think, the less you'll have to think about the actual rule, and you'll kind of just do it naturally. In the meantime, what I would like you to do is kind of like we've been doing before. Focus on the numbers, do the multiplication, and then you stop and you decide what sign it is. Okay? So you can get all your multiplication, get your number, and then go, okay, was it same signs or different signs? And put the rule in front of you. Have your math notebook open so that you can check and make sure you're doing it right. Yeah, that's going to take you a while to start with, but after a while, it's just going to kind of be second nature and it'll go much quicker. Okay, so some examples are if I had 13 times negative 3. Okay, so I want to first just do 13 times 3. And remember, parentheses means times. I'm not always going to put the x, and actually I'm going to start putting the x a whole lot less. So use parentheses, use dots. So 13 times 3, 3 times, and I just go total old school with it. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. I know my number, the absolute value, no matter what, of my answer is 39. And then I make a decision about signs. So I ask myself, is it same signs or different signs? It's different. That means it's a negative 39. Okay? Let me show you another one. So negative 5, let's see, what was this one? Let's do negative 5. Oh, as I write an 8, I promise I know what a 5 looks like. My brain's working too fast. So negative 5 times negative 8. Okay, so again, I just want you to do 5 times 8. And if you got to, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Have a strategy. Do something, okay? Get yourself this number. So 5 times 8 is 40. Then I need to look at this and go, okay, do I have same signs or different signs? And since I have same signs, my answer is positive. So I just leave it as a positive 40. Okay? So I want you to try a couple of these on your own. So why don't you do 3 times, let's do negative 3 times 5. Why don't you do negative 10 times negative 2? why don't you do 0 times -2? Notice I wrote these different ways to get you used to all the different ways that they're going to write it. So remember, this is a dot. And let's do 8 times 4. Okay, so with the you try problems, you need to label it you try in your math notebook because your EA is going to be looking for that. And you go ahead and pause the video now, and I'll try not to look goofy when you pause it. I doubt that. But go ahead and pause it, and then you try, and when you come back, I'll give you the answers. Okay, hopefully you tried it. So 3 times 5 is 15. Different signs, it's negative. 10 times 2 is 20. Same signs, it's positive. 0 times -2 is just 0, and we can't make that positive or negative. Okay, so don't forget that. A lot of students will say it's nothing. The answer's nothing. Or they'll say it's not possible. It's just 0. It's a number. Don't forget, okay? 8 times 4, just a regular 32. We kind of know that one a little bit better, but you need to remember. Okay, so what I want you to do for the signs chart. So here's my idea. You know, when I start talking about being creative and getting ideas, that is going to be crazy. So run with it. Run with my idea. I want you to make a chart. When my students are struggling in class remembering these rules, I usually on their paper write something simple like this. Positive times a positive equals a positive. Positive times a negative equals a negative. Negative times a negative equals a positive. Something like that. Maybe not in that order. And you can switch these two and also write negative times a positive equals a negative. So it's kind of just this really quick reference chart. I want you to kind of recreate this chart. I want you to make it your own. Maybe you use regular numbers to show this and you actually put some numbers down. Maybe you use words. Maybe you use all three things. But I want you to make yourself a reference chart. Decorate it. Make it look awesome. Make it where somebody looks at it and they're not bored like mine, because mine's super boring, okay? Spice it up a little. Make it fun. Make it something that not only did you kind of enjoy making it, so it's got to fit your style, but it also helps you. And then somebody else might go, oh, that's cool. I want to use that. Or think of some of those posters teachers put on the wall. Yeah, some of them are boring, but some of them are kind of fun, and they're trying to show you and remind you a rule by being a little more interesting than that. Okay, so spice my stuff up a little. You're going to make your own. I don't need it to be huge. It could just be a sheet of 8.5 by 11 computer paper. Decorate it. Make it look awesome. I would love to put these up on my wall, okay? So we're going to call this one Wall Worthy. All right, good luck, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with.